Imagine, if you will, that you're working a protection detail and your principal is a family of 6. Father, mother, 4 children. Or perhaps you're the lead investigator of a major sex trafficking ring involving thousands of children. Or you're a high-ranking member of the intelligence community in charge of protecting a piece of intelligence that, if leaked, could kill tens of thousands of people. And all of a sudden, you get a phone call or you're contacted somehow. On the other end of that phone call is an eerie voice telling you that what you value most in this world has been taken, regardless if it's your wife, children, your dog, or baseball collection. And that what you value most will be destroyed unless you allow an ambush to happen that will get your principal killed, or to destroy evidence to allow everybody involved in that ring to go free, but not only go free, continue sex trafficking of children. Or you have to leak that intel that's it's gonna get tens of thousands, maybe more people killed. What do you do? What would you do in a situation like that? Now, thank you for joining Nemesis Group. There's a particular reason why I started this video that way. It doesn't matter if you're in DOD, Department of Defense, Department of Justice, intelligence community, your local law enforcement, or if you're working in a private sector. For the most part, we've taken an oath of some sort in one manner or another, or even just the fact that you're doing the job of security and protecting others. Most of us have taken an oath basically saying that we are serving the public, we're protecting the public, we're putting our lives in between the public and those who want to do the public harm, whether it's locally or globally, nationally, whatever the scale is that you operate inside of. It's an oath. That is duty, that is the job. And there are many basically occupational hazards that come with it as part of the job. It is dangerous. You understand every day, day in, day out, you may not come home, or you may not come home in one piece. But that is what you chose to do. That is what you accepted by taking the job. Now, that's all fine and dandy. I've known plenty of people who've joined the military with the mentality, I am here to die for my country, as if that is the purpose of joining the military. Now, we've joined knowing that we may have to die for our country, but no one really wants to die. It's not rational. But could you, or would you have the courage and the honor to uphold your duty when that which you value most is in jeopardy? That's part of the occupational hazard of some of the professions that we have. And that's an important conversation you need to have with yourself, an important conversation you need to have with your family. And all the many things that I do, I've had that conversation with my kids. That in working fugitive recovery and doing some of the other things that I do, there may be people who are going to be angry with me. I have been followed before, and I've had to shake people. People don't want to go back to jail. The family members, gang members, and whatnot is not thrilled with that, or that you got someone in trouble, sent them back to jail, or maybe you're involved in a shooting. If somebody wants revenge, it really doesn't matter. there may come a time, because of your security clearance that you hold or the job that you have, that you could be put in that position. It happens a lot. People return state evidence, and the criminals or the associates of the criminals get a hold of their family. Suddenly, people decide there's too much of a risk. And I get it. I understand it. But even as an officer or a specialist working in the private sector or military personnel or an officer in the intelligence community or agents, it is very possible, regardless of how unlikely it may be, you could be a target. You will be a target. If that happens, the question is, do you trust the agency that you work for, or even the team that you work with, to do their job how they're supposed to and protect or recover safely that which you value most, and not compromise yourself, not do anything that's going to cost other lives? That is a very hard question. No one can answer that for you but you. I would like to think in a situation like that, that I would trust my team and the agency that I work for, the department that I work for, organization I work for, regardless, to do their jobs right and get my family back if my family was taken, and that I would not compromise myself. One, especially if it was my wife wouldn't want me to compromise myself, and vice versa if I was taken and being held hostage and threatened to be killed. Unless my wife did something that the criminals wanted her to do, I would not want her to compromise herself for me. But if the answer is you don't trust the agent, trust me, I've quit jobs because I did not trust the people that I worked with. Could not trust them. Knowing that, I had to make a decision. So that's a question you have to ask yourself. Even regardless of how unlikely it may be, if that was to happen to you, could you uphold your oath? Could you serve the public like you swore to do? If the answer is no, if you have doubts, that may not be a job for you. And that's understandable. No judgment. But there's an important conversation you need to have with your families, friends, or whoever it is that you value most that could be a target because they're an associate of yours. Almost like guilt by association. So I know this is a bit of a different speed from what I normally cover. But for all my people in the security profession, law enforcement, military, intelligence community, private sector, public sector, it doesn't matter. If you've made a choice to defend others and you've accepted that occupational hazard, this is something that you need to think about. And this is, of all the many things that I've done, occupations that I've had, organizations that I've worked for, no one has ever asked me this question. Yeah, you take your oath, especially the military, swear to defend the Constitution, the United States of America, against all threats, foreign and domestic. It's in there. In this, it sounds nice, but most people don't actually think about the gravity of the words that you're speaking. And that's with any oath. So I want you to take the time and think about this. Think about this. Think about that. What would you do if what you value most was in jeopardy because of the job and the occupational hazard that you accepted? So thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Go ahead and like, share, join, follow, all that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Thank you.